Hi everybody, this is Affected Collective, and this is a short video that I wanted to make about some weird shit that I found. I'm working on some other videos that are like seriously in depth, and they're taking a while because the subject matter I have to present correctly. And anyway, this is some stuff I found about plasma in space. Apparently, plasma acts like an octopus sometimes. It looks like a living thing, but it also makes these weird voids, these vortexes, and I don't know if we're witnessing what dark matter looks like, but it made one of the scientists in this group from the Max Planck Institute basically retreat into his office for weeks, lock himself in his office until he could find a solution, which was unfortunately never given. It makes these swirly things which remind me of, if you've seen my Keck video, the creation of something coming into existence, and it makes DNA helix looking things. So, please enjoy the video.
В этой камере, похожей на черную бочку, создается плазма. В плазменную среду вводятся пылевые частицы микронных размеров.
Это вид той вот черной камеры изнутри. Вот они, эти микрочастицы. И сейчас потихоньку начинается уже процесс кристаллизации.
Все, что происходит внутри, фиксируют видеокамеры.
Специалисты на Земле будут получать картинку вот именно вот этого кристалла и наблюдать за процессом кристаллизации.
Совсем не те, которые ожидали. То есть ожидали более-менее равномерную структуру кристалла, а в этой структуре внутри образовывалась полость. В процессе эксперимента мы это дело наблюдали, рассказывали, что мы видим на Землю. Земля ломала голову, говорила, такого быть не может. Потом один из ученых, вот, кстати, как раз с института Макса Планка, говорит, получив данные и записи с нашей экспедиции, я, говорит, заперся на несколько недель в своем кабинете для того, чтобы просмотреть, проанализировать и описать то.
I put crickets here because I got nothing to say about this, except that it's freaky. It reminded me of time crystals, which scientists discovered about a year ago in March of 2017. Interestingly, that they titled this article with the word HE double toothpicks. Anyway, the way that time crystals are described seems like what these things look like, meaning the behavior of this plasma seems to look like what time crystals are described as behaving like. Their spin or magnetism is in a constant state of flux. Strangely, two different groups of scientists reported that they observed exotic time crystals at the exact same time. Time crystals being systems of atoms whose properties arrange themselves or crystallize in time like the way solids can crystallize in space. Interestingly, in 2014, scientists reported there are probably not time crystals. And then 2 years later, physicists from the University of California demonstrated time crystals might exist if you change the rules a little bit by giving atoms a periodic nudge, for example. And then, voila, not 1 year later, two different groups from two different universities, one at University of Maryland, one at Harvard, found time crystals. The University of Maryland hit their particles with a laser pulse, and the Harvard group, which doesn't seem very different to me because it was also electromagnetism, used microwave fields. And this caused the particles to be in a state of flux in their spin, which is a little misleading of a term, but so is the word time crystal. But the spin has to do with their magnetism. Basically, they can't really explain this behavior, but It says the fact that you're seeing this similar phenomenology at the same time in two very different systems is really quite amazing. Time crystals have a mind of their own, it seems. And so I'm like, wait, do y'all even know what these are? And then DARPA announces that they are going to begin funding time crystal research, and that's a project called DRINQS, DRINQS, which stands for Driven and Non-Equilibrium Quantum Systems, whose research will fund more than just time crystals. It's a mission to study the weirdness of quantum mechanics and potentially find places where driving a system, like adding a regular electromagnetic pulsing force, makes the atoms take on more stable behaviors that they'd have without the pulse. Interesting to note that one of the scientists said the other day in a game, I saw a time crystal as a weapon. Ha 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 ha. Is that a laughing matter? That freaks me out, because it seems like real world things, DARPA is making whatever research, it's making weapons. I mean, what does DARPA do? It makes weapons using time crystals, which aren't even defined well, and they were discovered the exact same week after a bunch of people were like, yeah, that can't exist. History is changing before our eyes, and that is a freaky deaky weaky thing. I've also noticed when people discover a new dinosaur, it's been in a game for like 2 years or something. We should pay attention to that kind of shit. And in the same article that had hell in the title, it ends with a mention of the Holy Grail in physics, and we're understanding types of matter that we never knew existed. I really feel like these guys' subconscious is trying to tell them something that they're not picking up on. Anywho, wanted to also mention this sulfur crystallization. So sulfur is the modern term for brimstone, and I thought it was interesting that the S8 molecule, which kind of looks like a Baphomet to me, but anyway, the S8 molecule does this crystallization process that, well, it reminded me of the Rainbow Mountains, and it's quite beautiful. It also reminds me of descriptions I've read in the past of, well, Lucifer, how he was supposed to be so beautiful. He was like textured as crystals or something. I don't know, I'm pointing these things out. I just wanted to make a short video because people will freak out at me if I go a couple weeks or more without making a video, and I didn't really know what to do with these pieces of information, so sorry if this feels all random, but yeah, I just think we shouldn't possibly be messing with, matter, and if a whole bunch of different scientist groups the same day find that matter changes all of a sudden, I think we should take a look into that and be like, hey, wait, what are we really messing with here? Anyway, just my personal opinion, and thanks you guys for watching. I'll leave links in the description, of course, and much love to everybody.